All right, welcome back to the Pumpernickel podcast. Pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel.
I didn't know if anybody else would start that one.
Well, you were kind of like fading in weird when you started talking.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, but anyway, we will keep this one pretty simple and pretty straightforward this week. I think today's topic of conversation should be just like marriage. We kind of were talking about that before we even started this episode, but I think it's an interesting thing. Who's on the side of getting married?
I got nothing against getting married, man. I think it should be taken very seriously. Though,
Right.
You know? I think if they should make divorce harder to get because people are just so used to like the default, like if things don't work out, just get a divorce.
Or harder to get married in the first place.
Or harder to get married in the first place.
That's a good point. Maybe if you made marriage tougher, people would take it more serious. Because marriage now is just, for all intents and purposes, we'll get a certificate.
Yeah. It's just some people do it for the tax benefits temporarily, or just because you're alone and you want company.
True. Some people just do it for that. What about you?
I'm not against it, but I'm not personally like really looking for it because yes, there's tax benefits, but outside of the tax benefits and like the government officially recognizing you as a couple, don't shit change.
True.
Shouldn't.
At least it should.
Shouldn't.
If it's
Sometimes people get a lot of times people get weird once they realize, oh, I'm married now. It's like, nah, bitch, like.
You should have read the whole time.
We've been doing the same bullshit for however long we've been dating, and now we're just married. Like now you got a ring on your finger. It shouldn't change anything.
Yeah, but there's no prenup and you divorce. That's 50%.
What about you, White Mike?
I don't know. I think marriage is a human invented. Well, it is a human invented concept. But I don't know. I just don't see the point in it.
Okay, so you bring up a good point. I think, everything being man-made and whatnot, but like the tax benefits, like if you live with someone else, regardless of whether you're married or not, like they're getting a break because they're together in this one house and they have to split costs and they have a kid. But why do you have to give it to just married people?
You can do the whole thing where if you've lived a certain amount of years, like you and Keo's thing we all joking about, where if y'all had lived together for 5 years, y'all will qualify for what's the?
It was like 10, and it was one of those things where I forgot exactly what the term was, but it was basically like if you lived in the same house together for 10 years and y'all are like quote unquote married by the state, if you live in a state that does that. And Georgia is not one of them states. It used to be, and then I think they stopped in like the 90s or some shit like that.
But right, what I'm saying is that why not just get the benefits off rip? Like if you and another person are sharing those responsibilities, regardless of marriage or not.
Dallas kids would take all advantage of that shit.
Yeah, it'd be brutal for the economy because of the amount of people that would just shack up. Because aren't a lot of people's living arrangements right now where they're already together?
Yeah,
especially nowadays.
The new norm, because a lot of people can't afford houses. Like the new norm now is for like a bunch of like friends to just like buy a fucking house together. Like buy a house together and then just like have everyone like get their own separate room or whatever. So like you have a bunch of people living in the same space that are just like that aren't married, that might not even be dating each other, that are just fucking just there.
That's true.
It's good in theory because you're supposed to love someone, so that way you spend the rest of your life with them. At the end of the day, it's almost like having a contract for a friend.
Right.
It's all this like weird paperwork and like brouhaha to just to get together. And B, if you ever like, you know what, 10, 15 years down the road, someone changes their mind or something, like, this is a bad idea. Now there's like 10 times the amount of shit you have to go through.
Just to get out, yeah.
Just to get out. You can't just like, okay, they both mutually agree, this probably wasn't the best. 20 years later, you know what, it's called a day. Now you have like a 500-page document, lawyer fees, court fees to go through.
And then you got to split up all your shit.
Then you figure out who gets what.
Yeah, one of my friends is actually going through a divorce right now,
Really?
And she's like super fucking mad because like I think they were together for like 3 years. Like some of their shit's in like a storage container in another state, and like all this other bullshit. And I was just like, he lives in another state and she lives in another state, and then they've got shit that's in a state that neither of them is in that they used to live in. And so now they're trying to like she was like, I just filed my taxes, but now I have to file separately because we're not living together, and then we got to split all this shit. And it's just like, damn, that's really fucked up. I'm sorry you got to deal with that. Because like, oh, you decided, oh, this person was cool, let's get married, and then like, a couple years later, they decided to be a little bitch, and now
baby back bitch.
Okay, so you bring up a good point. The person was cool, right? And like Nate said, ideally the situation hasn't changed, right? She and you continue to behave as you would normally.
People change.
People do change.
Yeah.
Now, question being, how long? Let's say you got into like a committed relationship today. How long before you think, and things are great? How long before you like commit to the idea of maybe getting married?
Several years.
Off to White Mike.
As he walks away,
he walks away. Where you going?
I would say several years. Because I think Elvin and I lived together for 2-3 years.
Yeah, like
we've known each other for what, 5, 6?
Like 8.
Yeah,
yeah.
I still don't know if we would be like we were one guy, one a girl. I still don't know if we'd be ready to get married. I mean, we know a lot about each other. We've looked at it.
This just sounded hella good.
No, it does.
It does. No, but he brings up a good point.
Yeah,
no, it's a very.
Speaking from the context of what you're saying, like.
No,
but it's also because of the nature of our friendship. Like, I brought something up to someone recently at work because I was actually mentioning you. Of course, they don't know who you are, but I just brought them up in general. I was like, I was telling her like the difference between guy and girl relationship. Well, typical guy and girl relationship doesn't advocate for everybody, but it's like. That I was telling her, like, Nate, I've known Nate for 8 years. I cannot tell you anything about Nate beyond his name and his family's names and, like, where he lives and general things like that.
That's
and,
true.
Like, his mild interests. I do not know anything about Nate beyond that, and I still consider him one of my best friends. In spite of the fact that I don't know anything about any of y'all, really. But I know that I can trust you, and as a dude, there's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there's no.
It's very simple.
So basically, we would suck at the newlywed game.
Yeah. That's what I told her. I was like, if it was a life or death situation, and I had to name facts about Nate, we would die immediately.
Oh yeah.
I was like, it would be immediate.
What's his favorite color? Oh
I
god.
don't know that.
Oh yeah. Honestly though, yeah. Favorite color.
Honestly, yeah. I don't know that.
It's like,
yeah, it'd be a tight night. It'd be like, I'd grab the gun myself. Like, look, let's get straight to the point, because we're gonna be here for 30 minutes. Everybody gonna feel bad, and then we'll die. Like,
yeah, because our friendships are based off of like
mutual interests and just
simple,
like tomfoolery.
Right, and we know general.
And you and White Mike, like, how much do y'all know about each other?
I don't know. Maybe we should buy the newlywed game and find out.
You're gonna be really embarrassed really quick.
Next week.
Pumpernickel. I mean, we could play the game to see where we stand, but like either which way, like
I think you'd fail.
I mean, we'd all fail.
We would absolutely.
Yeah, because it gets too specific.
Yeah.
Because you and Keo. I feel like you and Keo know a lot.
Because I think the newlywed game, it's geared towards a specific relationship, right? Like guy relationship, like Elvin said, it's a different thing.
Yeah, I mean, like,
guy relationships are utilitarian. I didn't cut you off.
No. But like a newlywed relationship is based on an intimate relationship. Like you're supposed to have spent a lot of time with this person. You're supposed to know pretty much.
Well, it's intimate. Yeah, it's a very intimate thing.
Like the back of your hand.
Right.
So it's like, oh hey, like, what's the favorite color? Like, what's their favorite like brand of candy or some shit like that. And like, I mean, it sounds dumb, but like women actually really care about those details. And so it's like, yeah, no, like you want to be able to like regurgitate that shit. And if you don't know, then that, I mean, especially if you're at a fucking wedding, it makes you look kind of
awkward.
I read that though, like women, like that's why I say like women and men. I mean, that's another podcast entirely. Women and men are equal, but they're not the same.
Mystery of women.
And I just like, if I could ever explain that, it'd be crazy. But that women build bigger connections that way naturally. Like it just comes naturally more inclined for them to build intuitive connections about the people they're around. So they're more inclined to be like, I don't know, it just drives success in a lot of ways because you're so intimately understanding of the people around you and you know their personal, you know what I mean? Like it's a mental web. Like guys are, web is very like limited in that there's like 1 or 2 connections per person.
We just grunt at each other.
Right.
Well, I think
got that. Women, it's like it's very connected. Like they know other people's interests, what they care about.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think they're more like OCD. They're more detail oriented, whereas we're more objective about the end result.
Oh, right.
See what I mean? Because I don't care about you liking Twizzlers
Right.
or whatever the fuck, because that's irrelevant to me.
Who
Like,
likes Twizzlers?
but
I like
I know that you got my
That's saying
back.
a lot about you.
If it's raining, my car broke down
Right.
on I-85, and for some
Right.
reason I don't see. In the bigger scheme of things, Elvin's got my back.
Yeah. If you called me at 3 a.m. about broke down, and you were broke down somewhere, I would come get you.
Right, like that's the kind of thing. It's a difference, more big picture oriented.
But you
as
don't
opposed
even
to
know
like
what kind
a-
of socks he likes.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't even know that you like to wear a blue sock on your right foot on every third Wednesday of every fucking month.
How you find out, bro?
Yo,
Because you wear these baby socks
Yeah.
Like,
I
and
know that weak ass joke was gonna come from you. Where are your socks?
somewhere else.
Bro, your feet look like
Slaves.
Back to the podcast.
which I guess is a good balance, right, between men and women typically, because
I
you know,
think
big
so.
picture, more detail.
Yeah.
But so then I was just thinking right now, split second, like between like gay or lesbian, like does
But that's
is
why
it two
some-
big pictures or is
Yeah,
it a big
because
picture detail,
I've heard it said
or
before
is
that,
what
like,
you know what I mean?
that we focus too much on the sex when it comes to like because everybody like the big emphasis that a lot of people who are homosexual feel is that whenever they're brought into conversations, the first thing is about sex.
Yeah,
When it's like
who's the dude and who's the chick?
Right, who's the chick? And it's just like, but none of that matters. I think that there is a feminine and a masculine energy in a relationship, and usually it's embodied in the person that is that sex. But when you're gay or lesbian, like someone embodies usually the other one. You know
Right,
what I mean?
it's whatever is missing, whatever
Right,
is
so
the
it's
balance to the.
Yeah, so in
to
a
the
gay
mix.
relationship between, and even that might not necessarily be true either, because there's plenty of gay dudes that like just are two fucking bros that just hang out. You know what I mean? They're just gay. That doesn't necessarily mean they even have sex. That just means that they're emotionally connected to each other, so that makes them gay. So it's like, yeah, it goes both ways.
literally.
Yeah. What about you? What, like marriage? And
Yeah.
do you see yourself in the future, man? Like I know we've had this conversation briefly before, but I don't think you
No, it's not something that's on my mind.
really. Not even.
I don't think about it.
You don't have a 5-year plan for like relationship and all.
No,
A 5-year plan.
Bro, you old.
Not a 5-year plan for marriage.
You old
I mean,
shit,
5-year
bro.
plan, my
like,
friend.
5 years in the future, you don't see yourself like in that general direction.
Hey, young buck, what your 5-year plan is?
I'm gonna pick up a girlfriend in the next 6 months and then date around for like
I
a
got
couple years.
15 minutes to get a wife.
And go.
Dude, you know,
That's
cuffing
your
season's
future.
already.
Yeah. What you saying?
I just think I think people just think of marriage as like a milestone in life.
Right. That's true.
I just don't see it as that stuff.
That's fair.
So, are you of the idea that like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't?
There it is.
It's also weird. Mike brought up a good point that there's like an age bracket where it's like encouraged and an age bracket where it isn't.
I feel like that's a southern thing too.
Is it?
I think in
mean,
the
like,
South. I think in the South it's earlier.
Right,
There-
right. That's what I mean. Is that in the South, I think that it's like people get married in their mid and younger 20s a lot
Right.
more.
Like it's not unusual to get married at 21 right after
right.
college.
While up north, I imagine that they get married later.
Like 35, 30.
35,
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
And I think that's just customary. I don't know.
Which is weird because you're so, not to say underdeveloped as a young person, but underdeveloped. Like
True.
you haven't experienced as much.
Oh,
you don't
yeah,
know as much
dude.
about
Oh,
yourself, how you
Yeah.
interact with people, how you react in certain situations.
21-year-old me doesn't even know anything
No.
compared to 28-year-old me. Like, there's just a vast difference in the amount of knowledge we both have that is, there's just no way that I could be, I don't even know if I could relate to 18-year-old me. Like, if you brought 18-year-old me into this room, there's no way that he and I would be able to talk about anything because I wouldn't find anything that he felt funny. You know what I mean? Like, it'd just be different.
How
persons.
weird is that?
It's weird. Like, if you literally brought yourself in 10 years ago, could you chill with yourself?
Also, if you had a time machine and went back in time, A, what would you tell yourself? And B, could you still interact with yourself?
I would tell myself to switch to a computer science degree. That'd be the only regret I have. That's it. That's the or that, and then walk more.
Walk?
Yeah.
Moon?
Huh?
Moon?
Moon?
Walk?
What?
Moonwalk?
No. What the fuck is going on right now? This is Three Stooges ass already. No, I walk because, like I said, I was like before college. I was 400 pounds. Like I would have told younger me, just you don't have to stress or focus too much on any of it. Just get out the house and just walk around.
Would you have played bass more?
Probably not.
No?
There's like that's what I mean. Is like there's only two things I would have changed in my life: walk more and computer science would have been my degree. That was it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and then maybe, and then probably 6 months before applications were due, focus more on your SATs and apply to a couple more schools. That's it. That might be all I would have to say to my younger self. I don't really have that many other regrets. You know what I mean? having a different degree. I would have definitely benefited more from the CS. Just because of the nature of what I'm interested in, like computer science. I like talked to my. I mean, sorry, give me 2 seconds. But I talked to my mom like recently, and she was just like, "Yeah, you're so single-minded about things that if I tell you to do something, even when you were younger, if it wasn't exactly what I told you to do, it would come up fucked up." I was just like, "Yep, that sounds about right." Because I'd leave the house and grab something. If it wasn't exactly like a program written exactly the way you wanted it done, it wasn't gonna come back right at all. Because I don't know how to interpolate beyond that.
Are you a Terminator? Shit!
Damn, they're on the.
This whole time,
But
he's a
yeah.
fembot.
What about y'all? Yeah, like.
Two things. If I went back in time, one, I would probably also change my degree, probably to CS, and I tell myself to stick with playing the piano.
Do you ever play now? Not to cut you off.
No, I mean I'm working on it. I've slowly getting myself back in the habit of like going through scales and like getting songs and shit like that. But like I haven't actually like really sat down and like played anything in a while, and I miss that shit. And then the other thing is, as a side note, back to the whole marriage thing. If I were to get married, I would probably not want a monogamous relationship.
Hey,
That's fair.
what are you shooting for then?
Polygamous? Or just like.
Or an open marriage. Yeah.
Just open. I mean, like the idea that you are going to like be with someone for the rest of your life and everything be okay is not impossible, but pretty fucking ridiculous. Like I've had plenty of friends that I was like, oh man, like me and this person are gonna be cool for fucking forever, and these people are no longer in my life, so I can't imagine like signing a fucking like
Document.
legally binding document saying me and this person are gonna be cool forever and ever, and then risk losing all like half of the shit that I've worked for in my life. Like if that shit falls through, like this is fucking stupid. It's like, look, like I like hanging out with you, you like hanging out with me. If we hook up, cool. Like if for whatever reason I piss you off and you want to go sleep with somebody else for a night just to blow off some steam, I don't give a fuck. I'll see you over the weekend.
I will tell you though, the thing about those relationships, at least from what I've heard from the outside, is that they're never equal. In the sense that the dude will never get the type of numbers that the chick will get.
Well,
naturally, yeah, which is just natural numbers.
Well, that's
anyway.
understood. Yeah, that's understood.
But yeah, like if you do this whole polygamous thing, you have to go with the understanding that she will see more dicks than you will see vagina.
Oh yeah, no, like that's a thing. But I mean, like if you don't give a shit,
that's all good. Yeah,
because I mean, if you
the Pumpernickel podcast is sex positive.
Apparently.
Yeah, do what you want.
Because I mean, like, obviously the numbers aren't.
I've always supported that.
But like, if you do come
As long as
across
it's
like
not
a woman or two or three that you would like to sleep with, during the course of that relationship, instead of like there never being any option ever, and you just have to let that shit go,
right,
and wonder for the rest of your life, like, damn, me and that chick probably would have had some really good chemistry. You can actually explore that option and see where the fuck it goes.
Or going along the way what you're saying is that just to take the fence out. Like a lot of relationships are binded by these ideas that are antiquated. Like not everybody has the same bounds for their relationship. Like I've talked to people about that too. It's like I think that we treat cheating like it is the end all be all in a relationship when it may not necessarily even be. And that's going to stay with the topic of the wedding thing. Even going along the lines of divorce, a lot of times sexually is because there was infidelity, but it's like infidelity doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end of a relationship. If the person brings more good into your life than bad, I don't see why that. I just mean consider it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people think that it's the immediate end once somebody cheats, and it's like no, it's more complicated than just sex or maybe even emotional attachment. Maybe there's something y'all can fix in that relationship to where it doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? It's just there are options.
Yeah, I think that'd be a case-by-case basis, though.
Yeah, definitely. It's not for everybody, but I thought about it recently because I was like, what if I were married and my wife cheated on me? Like, is that necessarily the end of that relationship to me? I don't know. It depends on what she brought to my life. Like, if my life was better off because she's in it and we still have this connection that I feel is there, then maybe infidelity can be patched up. Maybe that relationship can be patched up.
Yeah, I think it's like Nate said, it's a case by case.
Right.
Yeah, it's case by case,
Case
and
by case.
If you would have bumped shit, then she cheated on you, and yeah, it's out the door.
yeah, but it's the thing. It's like if like you gotta look into why it happened, right? Like,
Right, exactly.
was she feeling unsatisfied? Was it, I don't know, any number of reasons?
Just
Were you
angry
just
at you?
angry? Right? Was it something separate?
Was it just because it
And if it was a thrill,
thrilling to
if it's a
fight?
thrill, there's like this like drug cope, like addictiveness to it. That
Right,
like,
absolutely.
has this happened before? Was it a thing of like getting caught? Like, and now that you have, is it gone?
Yeah.
Well,
Still-
like the biggest reason why I would want an open relationship is one, for any relationship to work, period, you need communication. You need that shit to
So you want the lack of the lying? You want to take the lying out of it, or the possibility of
it's just
those like lies?
yeah, it's like, look, like I'm pretty fucking like easygoing dude. Like if you wanna do some wild shit, I don't give a fuck. Just tell me about it. And like I would want to cultivate a relationship that would be just open about talking whatever the fuck. And it's just like, hey, like, I went to work today and like I like had a really like flirty conversation with this dude and I think I kinda like him. Go explore that shit, Fuck it, whatever. I don't care. Like see where that shit goes.
You had the conversation with the dude or your wife?
No.
So that's positive.
I mean,
Hey,
whatever you're into, boy.
But I mean,
Be as
you know,
greedy
like,
as you want.
you never know, man.
Take
Like,
all.
that shit might happen one day. It's like, man, that shit felt kind of weird. I had a conversation with a dude, and I don't know how I feel about it. Instead of like,
why can't we just clap cheeks?
Summer loving happened so fast.
instead of like, like keeping that shit like bottled up and like being internal, I like especially if I'm married to this person, like obviously this person is somebody that I really connect with. Like I would want to be able to talk to them about everything, literally everything.
Yeah,
and so
fair.
like building a relationship that is centered around communication, especially about something that's relatively taboo in general, like I think that would enhance the relationship. And not to mention, if you end up getting some extra sex on the side for, being open about it, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, I guess. What about you, Mike? Polygamy?
Polygamy? I don't care. Sure.
Sure. We see him in 10 years and he got like a harem.
A harem?
Yeah. Like 10 deep. Like,
He was rolling in like Xerxes on the big statue.
yeah. What the hell happened in the last decade?
He's not wearing anything at all. He's just ass naked.
No, but they come out with different hot pockets though.
Is this spinach?
Divorce.
Divorce. No. Yeah.
She was looking out for your health. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
looking up for your
There's no
health.
spinach in it. Get the hell out of here.
You don't know me at all.
You don't know me at all. Yeah, but I don't know. Those both. There's like so many different options with the whole marriage thing and infidelity and all that stuff. But I do totally agree that I think that when you get married, there should be 100% communication. For me, for a marriage to work, there needs to be hours during the day where we're around each other, but we don't talk to each other.
I think that's a requisite for all relationships.
Yeah, dude, I think that's just
I just mean like we're comfortable in each other's space, but there's just literally zero talking.
And you can do it. Like you don't have to be doing the same thing.
No, you shouldn't be doing the same thing at all. Like she could be reading or playing games, and you could be doing your own thing. Y'all should just be able to be freely independent in front of one another.
Right. No, I
And like
agree.
for those out there listening to us, first of all, thanks, and second of all,
Yeah, for real.
Appreciate it.
if you're planning on like living like with another person of the opposite sex, or even with the same sex, there are certain things that you just need to keep in mind. Like one, like Elvin said, you got to be able to be in the same space and be comfortable with them being in your space, but y'all not necessarily doing the same thing. But also, you just need to be comfortable, live together or have an understanding of how this other person lives in their own personal space. Because even if y'all gel outside, what you do in your personal time, in your personal space, and what someone else does in their personal space can be two wildly different things, even if y'all are like super close.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Because I used to live with Elvin, and there were some times where like I'd come into the kitchen and he'd be out here doing some like experimental shit, and I'd be like, that's not necessarily like what I roll with, but it's
Whatever.
cool. Whatever, do you, man? I'm gonna grab my hot pocket out the freezer, throw it in the microwave, and call it a day. And hopefully, whatever like jambalaya thing you got cooking in the crock pot turns out to be all right.
It usually wasn't.
I think off of
I was
that,
gonna leave that part out. But
It usually wasn't.
I think off of that, it's good to be willing to like not even see that. Like when Elvin and I lived together, we would go like days without seeing each other, and it wasn't
we would
weird.
go days without talking to each other. Like that's the point. Like that's why I had to bring that. I didn't mean to cut you up, but I brought that up to like cushion them because even back like some of our engineering groups were like they knew Nate and I lived together. They were like, "What are y'all like? Y'all must just talk wild shit about." I was like, "No, we do not. We don't talk to each other. We talk to each other more in class than we do during a normal day."
Yes.
Yeah, like, and that's not a lie. Like, and even when you, because Eddie, and for all intents and purposes, White Mike lived with us as well. And it's like there'd be days where all of us would not talk to each other.
Well, that happens here. That happens between Mike and I. Like we talk at work, and then like we get here, and like we're each doing our own thing.
Yeah, and that's what makes it work.
Then we see each other again tomorrow.
You're not constrained by each other.
Because otherwise, you're spending way too much time with that person. You're gonna get in heated arguments.
Yeah,
it gives too much time spent.
Away from them to not notice quirks.
Yeah.
And that's what's important is that because quirks at the end of the day are bullshit in that you just like some arbitration that you notice, but it'll eventually wear you down.
It's just something that you want to find annoying because you spend too much time.
Right, because exactly,
you
right.
spend too much
pay
time.
attention to,
like the brain eventually is like something is like it's like an indicator for you that you're spending too much time with another human.
Yeah, I don't like the way this nigga walk.
Right.
And, like,
It's something stupid. Yeah, it's something stupid.
You always wink your left arm to use the S letter.
Yeah, I don't like this shit at all. And the next thing you know, that's the only thing y'all talk about. But yeah, it worked out. In the 2-3 years Nate and I lived together, there was probably like 2 pages worth of content of discussions that we've had.
Yeah.
In the house outside. Because Nate, and that's not even because Nate was in his room. Nate and I would not talk to each other, and we had to go through the same spaces. So
we sit to each other on the couch and not talk to each other.
Yeah. I'd sit on the other side, and we'd just be watching TV, and there'd just be no conversation. But that has to be a thing in order for things like that to work. So yeah.
All right, Sanchez. So if you had to go back, what would you change, or could you talk to yourself? Do you think?
Yeah, I talk to myself.
Think you'd be able to communicate effectively, or would you be?
No, I wouldn't be a different person. I'd be the only difference between younger me and the current me is he would be less cynical. That's about it.
He'd also be younger.
Yeah, but I mean, there's less cynicism. There's
I agree.
There's a lack of experience in terms of like
life,
what you value. Like younger me was a lot greedier than I am currently. Not just something that comes with time when you start to value certain relationships between, your siblings and your parents, and things that you've acquired over time. I don't think there's in terms of regrets. I don't think so far so good, man. Like, I don't think I'd really change anything. To be honest, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself, I'd be like, hey, invest money in this and X, Y, and Z. But that aside, like,
you can't give yourself the Back to the Future on that.
That aside,
all of it, but no.
No, I think that aside, I don't think I'd change anything because, like I said, younger me was a greedier version of myself, and like younger me only wanted to be a lawyer and wanted to be a lawyer only because of the money that I typically carry. So currently, if I would have, I wouldn't want to mess anything up. Watch me end up being some jackass.
True.
Asshole right now.
Run it in, Ron.
Oh, look, the diversity photo.
Right. Well, hey.
I caught heat at UGA because of that.
What?
The diversity photo. I was in one of them.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not lying.
A graduation?
Yeah,
I remember.
Because my teacher walked by me in the hall, and this is how I knew my teacher was old. And I apologize to any Asian people listening to the podcast, but he was like, "Yo, I saw you in the photo with them Orientals."
Oh.
And I was like, "What?" And I was just like, and then I realized what he was talking about. And then Yoder, another teacher, was just like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, I saw you in the photo for the diversity thing." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I went and looked online. It was like
they caught you straight,
guys, and it was me with my back turned, looking back at the camera, and I was like, "What the hell did this happen?" And it was like, it was at the diversity or the Asian American or the Asian cultural event that we had at UGA, and of course I was there because I'm always down for an Asian cultural event. And so I was just hanging out, and then some dude just took a random picture. Now I'm famous, quote unquote, for the day.
Oh, we said large black man here. Let's get a photo.
What are you? Chinese.
Chinese.
Yeah, but what about you, Mike? Any regrets?
Any regrets? No, just these tattoos. That's about it.
Yeah,
you would get more
that
tattoos.
Chest tat, that thug life chest tat that he got. I would definitely undo it.
So you would
Yeah, this like Nader for president.
Nader for press.
You wouldn't vote for me for president?
Who?
Me?
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not?
You running?
Yeah.
All right.
So would you?
It's a crapshoot at this point.
For
Oh, yeah.
real.
Yeah, would you guys vote Sanchez?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to be president?
There's at least
Damn.
two Sanchez's
Yeah.
in the world, right?
I thought you were born in Mexico.
Three. He's
No, man.
not
I was
wrong.
born in LA.
Oh. See? There he goes, all the way full circle. I didn't even know he's born in LA. I thought he was born in Mexico.
See? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, nah, born in
Save
LA.
it for next week
Yeah, right. Yeah.
when we play the game.
Yeah, I'm Mexican American, but yeah, let's save it next week. We should get the game play for real, just to see how like crash and burning this goes.
Facts. Let's save it all for next week.
That's gonna be a weird game.
All right, y'all.
no, hold on.
Yeah.
Who are the teams though?
We'll worry about that outside of the podcast. All right, y'all. It's been another great week of the
Pumpernickel
podcast. Y'all have a good one. We
Catch
out.
you next week.
Deuces.
Deuces.